home.
That duck is not all it's quacked up to be. It's okay. Hey, by the way, super fast, I had a great conversation about 8 years ago with Steven Swanson. He was a astronaut. He's from Steamboat Springs, and he said that when they were at the space station, one of the first things you lose is your sense of taste.
Interesting. Really?
Yeah, exactly, because you have, with your saliva glands, you have what's called fluid displacement. So things, you can't taste anything or taste very different. So people would take hot sauce up with them just so they would give them some sort of reaction. Exactly.
You should eat all the food that doesn't taste good that's good for you, you know, like
right, exactly. Right. You can learn to have a lot
just kale and seaweed. Do it in, right? You don't know the difference.
Well, I just want you guys to know that I'm thankful for all of you on this Thanksgiving.
Thankful for everybody. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm thankful to have a good team here. And we'll keep it going. You guys go enjoy your day. We'll keep the show going on America's Morning Headquarters. And here's a look at what's coming up today from 9 to noon. It's a big topic every Thanksgiving holiday. What is the weather going to be like? Through the mid-morning hours. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you get ready for it. Maybe it's time to put that turkey in.
I would say so. The Weather Channel has you covered from coast to coast. We have a newly named winter storm that's lighting up the west with some winter alerts there, no doubt. And your Thanksgiving turkey, not the only big deal today for sure.
Look at specific cities and show you how much snow we can expect there as we watch the system dive down here out of the Rockies into the plains. Kansas City, looking at you. Now, we've got our snow coming in on Saturday. And yes, snow. I mean, temperatures are going to be topping out on Saturday at 37, but then falling. Saturday night, we're dropping down into the 20s. So we do have snow in the forecast. By Sunday, we clear out. Temps warm up to 37, but there still could be a few slick spots. It's not a ton of snow, but it's the smaller events which often create some of the bigger travel issues. You know, this dip in the jet stream is going to bring in the cooler temperatures. The low itself, we're tracking that for all the energy. That's going to bring the wintry weather. Excuse me, but the dip in the jet stream is what allows temperatures to cool down so that the precip type is all snow for a lot of folks, including out here into Kansas, where winter storm watches are up. We've got winter storm warnings that extend into Nebraska, including around North Platte, and even some of those winter storm warnings in Wyoming, yes, which you guys will get the peak of snow, but down into Colorado, like around Fort Collins, we've got some bigger snow possible there for you. Now, here's a look at the plains and how this shakes out on Saturday with the snow falling throughout the day. Travel on I-70, on 35, on the Kansas Turnpike, Wichita. We've got snow coming our way, maybe even down into northern Oklahoma. We'll keep an eye on Oklahoma City. You're kind of on that rain snow line right there, so that's going to be one of the tricky spots. Kansas City, this is late night, Saturday night. It is snowing out here, and temperatures are dropping at this point. Again, heading into the 20s. St. Louis, it comes in overnight while you're sleeping. You wake up to some snow. Roads could be snow covered there. Chicago, throughout Illinois, Indiana, even Michigan. We've got snow through this area. Again, very light amounts, but snow nonetheless with cooling temperatures means that we could have slick spots for travel. Saturday's forecast here. So just going back, we've got to look at snowfall on 70, on 76. If you're traveling 35, we've got some snow there moving through Kansas. The amounts are going to be on the order of 5 to 8 inches. That's the purple color. Some spots might get locally heavier amounts, like 8 to 12 inches here. We'll have to watch for where that snow band sets up with the bigger snowfall rates here. And that becomes more of a nowcast. Models are similar, but slightly different to where that would happen. And we're still 2 days from that. But Wichita, a closer view of what you can expect. A half foot of snow. Greg, we're building snowmen and we're sledding out here for your Saturday.
Holy cow, Kansas snow, Jen. Nice. Wow.
A couple of inches here. Not a huge event, but there definitely is that chance. And then more snow coming in for the ski resorts into Vermont and New Hampshire. Greg, it's been a good start up here.
Yeah, we saw some of those tower cams from the ski resorts. They're looking really good for late November, I would say.
Yeah, good. I mean, Thanksgiving's a popular ski, weekend. So
let's get it started.
Lucky you.
I know. Today will be filled with food, family, and football. But what about conversation? Village. Kudos to our producers, weather producers, show producers, everybody else. Really
everybody on the show. And
deserves credit.
Working today to put this on. And, I really do enjoy my job. So I'm thankful, to be here, even on Thanksgiving Day with everyone.
And they make it that way, too. We need to have a list of names of everybody behind the scenes and give them their full props. We can't do it right now. There's too many of them to account for. But, hey, it's all of us.
Yes. Well, you can go to Threads, send us your comments, share your pics and video if you have that already. Maybe you're making a turkey, you're ready to go. Let us know, and we'll share them on the show.
You know what? I want to go to St. Louis.
Before the snow, end of the weekend. So we still didn't beat that, but well, awfully close.
I imagine in some of the airports you felt like mashed potatoes or something like that, don't you think?
Yeah, all smushed in together.
All the crowd there, yeah. Well, welcome back to America's Morning Headquarters and happy Thanksgiving. We have a lot on our plate today, including some of the mashed potatoes that I mentioned. How about this? We have a new winter storm that's taking shape in the Rockies that's bringing snow to the region. Some of the maps have colors on them like cranberry sauce.
Yes, yes. We're some blue also. What's like a blue? What's a blue food? Blueberries, but we don't make that for Thanksgiving.
Why not? Let's have some. We'll have some. We'll make some.
Yes. Well, as we recover from our Thanksgiving feast, we're also looking ahead for snow to expand across the country. But for right now, it is beautiful outside for most Americans this morning. So I'll start with that, and then we'll get into some of the tougher weather.
I think it's great to talk about that. We need to talk about the good weather and let people know that the travel conditions are the way they are.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's definitely going to help you rest easy a little bit here when you think about your drive coming home from dinner, maybe later today. This morning, you can look out the window and know it's fine, but it's going to stay that way. We've got dry conditions throughout Pennsylvania, Maryland. Temps are going to be warming up a little bit more. We'll get to 57, running a little below average in a few spots. But I mean, overall, this is a really nice Thanksgiving day from top to bottom here. It's been a great Thanksgiving table.
Right.
When are we going to get our first snowstorm?
When are we going to get our first snowstorm? This is a tough one because some people may have had it already.
Yeah, a few have.
But many others are like, where's the snow? Where's the snow?
Are we going to get snow this year? Well, the most common date for that here, average first snow, is September, October, November across a good chunk of the north.
And you know what? It does seem that we look for it and anticipate it maybe earlier than it historically happens, because that map was telling us that in most places it's not until late November or December.
Yeah. Right.
But we're already tuned to think, where's the snow? How come it's not snowing where I am?
Well, we do have a snowstorm, and that's coming with Winter Storm Kate, and we'll get that in Cheyenne, Laramie, Denver, Fort Collins, probably one of the bigger spots. Wichita, Kansas, getting some snow.
Guess who else is going to get some snow? Kansas City, probably, and maybe even Chicago, and along that corridor between the two, Des Moines, Central Iowa. So this is not just a Rockies event.
But New York's not going to get it. Philly, not going to get it. D.C. I mean, you know how we are in snowfall. It's hard to get it anyway. Yeah. But you might be wondering about the winter. So are we going to get snow this winter?
Well, you know what? This map doesn't tell us that, but it tells us that relative to average temperature-wise, we're likely to be warmer than average in the northern U.S. Now, remember, and you know this, Jen, in the Dakotas and in the Great Lakes, average is still pretty darn cold. So if you're even a little above average, you're probably still cold enough to snow.
Right. Now, let's go look at precip. So, okay, it's going to be probably warmer than average, but it's also going to be perhaps drier than average across the Great Lakes and maybe the northern tier. So that snow you're getting in Idaho, Montana today, if you like snow, go out and enjoy it.
Take it all in right about now, because you never know. Nothing's ever for sure.
Yes. All right. Is it going to get cold anytime soon?
This is another great question. I get this all the time. I go to the grocery store and someone says, where's the cold? I mean, we live here in the South, so that's an optimal question. But you know what? For a lot of places, well, maybe they're expecting a lot more cold than we've seen.
It's actually coming. Well, first of all, it was 59 degrees in Laramie, Wyoming yesterday.
59 in Wyoming.
And now look at what we got, 10 to 20 below average. So we'll be talking about temps in the teens, best case.
So it's here today.
Yes.
So the answer is right here, right now for many of us in
tomorrow.
In the west and central part of the U.S.
Yeah. Now, what about beyond that, right? Because I know that's your question. It looks mild into December. At least the start of December especially looks really warm.
Yeah. I mean, some of us are not going to complain. I think, well, you and I are both in that category.
I mean, warm temperatures for going out and getting all those holiday decorations and, you know, the parties, the shopping.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next one is good for families who live in coastal areas. And we're going to, I think, hear this a lot, and I already have. This one, we didn't have an active hurricane season, seems to be a common theme.
It's a statement we hear a lot. Right. It's actually not true. And so that's what we want to show you, that we actually had a very active hurricane season.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are the numbers on the left column here, or on the, right next to there. A lot of storms. The averages are in the middle column, and we were way above average in terms of the number of named storms, right on with hurricanes. But overall, this was a busy season.
Tied for third for most number of named storms. So I know your perception is that it wasn't active, probably because most of them were out to sea.
That was was a prevailing mode. That was one of the dominant themes of this hurricane season. Lots of them, but very few of them got close to the shores of North America. Many of them recurved out to sea in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, so I mean, this actually, was a fairly good hurricane season for us. In the lower 48, we had some big impacts from Idalia, Ophelia, and in Harold. Remember that came on shore while we were tracking Hillary over in California.
Pacific,
yeah. So that was just a weird time.
Yes, and of course, other basins weren't so inactive in terms of the number of landfalls. We had very problematic, landfalls in other parts of the world.
Otis and the Eastern Pacific.
Indeed,
yeah.
Indeed.
Well, speaking of, I just saw Tropical Depression 29E literally just pop up as we were talking. We've got a system where we can see the incoming warnings and watches, and we have something in the tropics right now, 29E.
Right, and this is in the Pacific. So
in the
this
Pacific,
is right, not in the Atlantic or Caribbean. So if you have vacation plans or if you're thinking about heading out, it's not actually a bad time to do it in the Atlantic.
Yes, you've lucked out for your Thanksgiving travel. Places like Antigua and even Puerto Rico. We had some rain to start, but it's been doing much better.
Well, Jen, those are great questions. That was a great idea.
Yeah,
I love that. Conversation
We'll keep it going. We've got some more ideas for you.
Yeah.
What's your go-to conversation starter?
I have to think about that.
You talk about the weather.
That's too easy.